Hello, church. Today we're in Job chapters 25 to 27, and we have got some gems to look at here today. We're going to dive right in. Chapter 25. This is a pretty short little discourse here from Bildad the Shuhite, and it's kind of his last words, as it were. And I want to focus on verse 6. He says, "How much less man who is but a maggot, a son of man who is only a worm." It actually really bothers me, church, when I hear people making comparisons from men or women, people, to things like maggots, worms, algae, amoebas. I think to myself, it's an accurate comparison to a degree if you are comparing our glory to the Lord's glory. But the problem with that comparison is that we so often then equate that to also our value. And we say, oh, our value is no more than a maggot or a worm. And that is just absolutely false. Jesus did not come to die for maggots and worms. He came to die for his children who are created in his image, you and me, and we have value because we are created in his image. So don't allow these kinds of comparisons to influence your thinking about our value. Just rejoice that we are created in his image. Then if we go down to chapter 26, this is going to begin Job's last words, if you will. The rest of the chapters up till 31 are Job's final comments here. And I literally laugh out loud when I read these first few verses about how he is just dripping with sarcasm again. And he is saying to his friends, "Oh, how you have helped the powerless." And he's just like, you have been completely useless. And I just literally laugh out loud when I think about how he's accusing his friends that way. But then if you jump to verse 4, he makes a profound statement. He asks the question, "Who helped you utter these words, and whose spirit spoke from your mouth?" Friends, we need to recognize and ask ourselves, with what spirit do we speak? If we look in the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 3 says that no one can say by the Spirit, "Jesus be cursed," and no one can say Jesus is Lord without the help of the Spirit. We need to be very aware with what spirit we speak our words. Proverbs chapter 18, I believe it's verse 21, talk about how there is power, the power of life and death in our tongues. And we need to be very aware with what spirit we speak. With whose spirit are we lining up our words when we speak to one another? Are they in alignment with Jesus and the life that comes from that? Or are they in alignment with a different spirit that will bring death? So keep that in mind as well. And then if we go down into chapter 27, starting at verse 2, there is just some gold here for us to observe. "As surely as God lives, who has denied me justice." So this isn't a great start, but look at what he describes. "The Almighty, who has made me taste bitterness of soul." Friends, there are seasons in life where we go through bitterness of soul. And that can refer to either mental or physical or emotional pain that is very, very difficult to deal with. And we can sometimes feel like Job, where we wonder, why has God allowed me through these things? I sometimes like to call this a dark night of the soul. But friends, here's the hope in all of this. When we face these challenges, these seasons of bitterness of soul, and we come through with a resolve in our hearts, where we have settled it in our hearts, that we are going to say, it doesn't matter what comes my way, I am going to honor the Lord. Like Job does in verses 3 and 4, he says, "Even though I feel like God has brought this into my life, as long as I have life within me, the breath of God in my nostrils, my lips will not speak wickedness, and my tongue will utter no deceit." Friends, if our response to challenges is saying, "I will trust God no matter what," it qualifies us for ministry. It proves the worth and value of the faith that we have. Because anyone, I feel in some ways, can trust the Lord and rejoice when the sun is shining. But when we say in our hearts, when it's raining, "The Lord be praised," we have proven our faith. And God is pleased. And actually, it's a qualifier for us for ministry. So a few questions we can ask ourselves today. Have we considered, or have we ever felt that we are maggots in terms of our value, and maybe not just in a glory comparison with the Lord? Ask the Lord to reveal to you, to your heart today, the value he sees you with. And secondly, we can ask, with what spirit? And maybe ask this question, Father, with what spirit do I speak? Do I speak life or do I speak death? Friends, I trust you will have a great day walking with the Lord. Be led by the Holy Spirit moment by moment today and be a blessing.